Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Counting on Jason Duggar tells Jana to scroll for IG men. Counting on alum Jason Duggar recently opened up about how he met his wife, Maddie Grace. He's the most recent Duggar to walk down the aisle this year. His wedding was only 2 months apart from Jana, who married Stephen Wisman in August. But what caught the attention of many was how Jason encouraged Jana to enter the dating world again. Keep reading to see what he said. Counting on. Fans thought Jana Duggar would stay single. Many fans have thought Jana would stay single for her life. She was the oldest Duggar to remain unmarried. The Counting on alum also said in one of her interviews that she's fine with living a single life. Some people also believed Jim, Bob, and Michelle wanted her to be the family's caretaker, especially for her younger siblings. But many were surprised when she announced that she married Stephen in Prairie Grove, Arkansas. Jason tells Jana to scroll for IG men. Jason also had an interview after marrying Maddie Grace. But what caught the attention of many was when the Counting on alum shared what he told Jana when he was still courting her. According to Jason, he scrolled on social media to look for his significant other and said the same thing about his oldest sister. He added that it was some kind of dare that he'd still find the right person, and Jana would too. I was talking with Jana. I was telling her, I was like, listen, Jana, you gotta put yourself out there if you want to find a guy. So I was like, look, listen, I'm going to hop on here just to find someone. Just to show you that I can do it, he added. But despite Jason's advice, it seems Jana focused on her longtime friend, Stephen, who was reportedly linked with her back in 2020. Counting on. How's Jana Duggar today? Over the past few weeks, Jana has been documenting her new life with Stephen. The Counting on alum often uploads YouTube vlogs featuring the renovation of her Nebraska fixer-upper. Members of the Duggar family have also been helping the newlyweds with the renovation. Jana Duggar is starting to share videos from her courtship journey with Stephen as well. She even promised her followers that her next vlog would showcase her bachelorette trip. Sure, here's a creative take on what a storyline involving Jason Duggar encouraging his sister Jana to scroll for Instagram men might look like. This will focus on the dynamics of the Duggar family and explore Jana's potential reactions to her brother's surprising suggestion. Counting on. Jason Duggar tells Jana to scroll for IG men. The Duggar family dynamics have been a mystery and a fascination to fans of Counting on. Even though their show has been off the air for some time, the interest in their lives, particularly Jana Duggar's, hasn't waned. Jana, the eldest Duggar daughter still living at home in her early 30s, has faced constant pressure and public curiosity around her single status in a family where early marriage and large families are the norm. While Jana has always seemed calm and unbothered by her status as the Duggar spinster, fans have often wondered if she ever feels the need to break out of her usual mold and explore the world beyond her family's tight-knit social circle. In a surprising twist, it seems her younger brother Jason might have given her just the nudge she needed. The gentle pressure of expectations. As the only Duggar daughter over the age of 30 without a ring on her finger, Jana's love life has been a favorite topic among Duggar fans for years. She's been linked to numerous suitors in the past, many of them fleeting rumors or misunderstandings. Despite the expectations and frequent attempts to set her up with eligible bachelors from the Duggar family social circle, Jana has remained happily single and busy with her projects around the house, garden, and family-owned properties. It's not that Jana has shunned the idea of romance. She has simply chosen to wait for the right person rather than settle for the sake of marriage alone. Her maturity and sense of independence have resonated with fans who admire her for not conforming to the pressure that often comes with being a Duggar daughter. However, her brothers, particularly Jason, have apparently grown tired of seeing their sister without a romantic partner. After all, in the Duggar household, siblings often play matchmakers. Jason's unexpected advice. Jason, one of the more rebellious and adventurous Duggar siblings, has recently taken to social media in his own way. Known for exploring more mainstream hobbies and occasionally pushing the boundaries of Duggar-approved norms, he has become somewhat of a fan favorite for his laid-back attitude. He has encouraged Jana to put herself out there for years, but this time he decided to get more creative with his advice. As the two sat one afternoon discussing their family's projects and future plans, Jason jokingly remarked, "Why don't you just scroll Instagram for a guy, Jana? Everyone's on there, and I'm pretty sure there's some nice Christian guys floating around your feed." Jason's quip was unexpected, especially given the family's traditional view on technology and social media. Jana laughed it off at first, saying, "Jason, you know Mom and Dad would have a heart attack." But her brother persisted, half-jokingly pointing out that social media has opened doors for everyone to meet people from different backgrounds and experiences, especially given the family's current isolation from mainstream activities and outings. Jana's dilemma. Initially, Jana brushed Jason's comments aside, but his words lingered in her mind. The Duggar family's restrictions on social media and internet use have always been strict, and social media itself is often viewed with a degree of suspicion. Jana only joined Instagram in recent years, primarily to share updates about her life with fans, post garden tips, and promote the family's projects. But Jason's comments made Jana consider her options. Was it possible to meet someone who aligned with her values yet came from a different world? She knew of friends who had found partners through various online platforms, and even though this approach was unfamiliar territory for her, she couldn't help but feel a flicker of curiosity. For Jana, it wasn't about the Instagram app itself, but the idea of seeking someone who wasn't necessarily tied to her family's traditional insular lifestyle. It was an uncharted path, one she hadn't dared venture down before, and she couldn't deny that the thought excited her. Testing the waters. Encouraged by her brother's words, Jana decided to test the waters, albeit cautiously. She set up her Instagram account for public viewing, sharing more personal glimpses of her life, her love for gardening, and her passion for interior design. Her posts quickly drew attention, with followers encouraging her independence and celebrating her talents. In the days that followed, Jana received messages from followers across the country and even a few men who were clearly interested in getting to know her. They weren't the typical Duggar-approved suitors, but rather men with unique careers, passions, and life experiences. Jana felt both intrigued and conflicted. While the attention was flattering, stepping beyond her family's established norms was intimidating. After a week, Jason asked her, "So, how's Instagram matchmaking working for you?" Jana rolled her eyes, but she couldn't hide a small smile. "Well," she replied, "I've met some interesting people, to say the least." A surprising twist. One particular message stood out to Jana, a man named Michael who lived in a different state and shared her love for gardening and sustainable living. They struck up a casual conversation about plants, quickly realizing they shared more common ground than expected. Michael's world was vastly different from Jana's, yet she found herself intrigued by his perspective on life. The connection was simple and unforced, unlike the setups she was accustomed to. They continued chatting over the following weeks, sharing stories, gardening tips, and a few laughs. For Jana, it was refreshing to engage in a conversation free from expectations. Although she knew that even entertaining the idea of getting to know someone through social media would shock her family, she felt as if she was finally exploring a piece of herself she'd kept hidden. Facing the family, eventually, Jana's chats with Michael became too significant to hide. She knew that keeping this relationship from her family wasn't feasible, and so she prepared herself to break the news. Jason, always supportive, promised to back her up. As expected, her parents were hesitant. Jim, Bob, and Michelle were concerned about the potential dangers of online dating, urging Jana to proceed cautiously. But with Jason's encouragement, they agreed to allow her to continue talking to Michael, under the condition that she involve a family member in every step, a compromise that Jana found both frustrating and humorous.